So I'm making an executive decision. I'll probably be wrong, but we'll see. Anyway, I was shown a trick years ago and it works brilliant. I've used it a few times. All you do is you take one of these, and where you've got that raised bit, when that wasn't working, it was an absolute nightmare because that lawn at the back is, it's not like a bowling green. It's like that.
Hello.
I've had a bit of a think about what to do with that last sheet of plasterboard, and one of the things that we discussed when we were planning this room out was this doorway. Diane originally said she wanted an arch here rather than a door, and so yeah, okay, that's great. That was before she changed all the plans. Now, I haven't asked her whether she still wants an arch here or not. So I'm making an executive decision. I'll probably be wrong, but we'll see. Anyway, so what we're going to do is a plasterboard arch with a plywood backing or an OSB back. We'll be attaching it directly to that, and we'll put a strip of wood in here to mount it to on this side. So first things first, we'll take some measurements and then we'll figure out how we're going to do this. I've never done an arch before. I know the principles, but I'm sort of making this up as I go along. Right, let's crack on. Alright, so we've got 85 centimetres. So, we need to sort out what we're going to put here, because that will determine how wide that is. Right, let's go find some wood, see what we can find. Right, so what we've decided to use is some of this steel stud work. It's about the right thickness. If I fit it that way, then we can use it to wrap some plasterboard around as well, so we can screw it on there. So I've pre-drilled some holes, and we'll fix this in position. I'm just taking these screws in so it just starts to deform it. And what that'll do is it'll make the screw head flush with these edges as it pulls that centre section in. That's a good solid fixing point. So that's good. Right, now we can take some proper measurements. So our distance for our arch is going to be from here to here. So that is 81.5 centimetres. Goes a bit less. Let's call it 81 centimetres on the safe side. So our radius is going to be, well, 81, so that's 20.5. So that's going to be the radius of the arch. So what we need to do is to cut two arches 20.5 centimetres, one for this side, one for the other side. We'll make them, let's say, 30 millimetres wide at this point, so that they come down and they'll attach onto there and onto there. This is a piece of 15mm OSB. It's been lying around for a while. It's a bit grubby, but it doesn't matter, it's all going to get covered. So rather than start the arch right at the bottom, we'll start it about 50mm up. That just gives us a little straight bit at the bottom. And half of 81 is 20.5. 40.5. So we measure our 50mm up, and that's 40.5. Sorry, I keep saying 20 for some reason. Right, that's the centre point for our arch. We need to make a compass. Now, you could make one with just a piece of string, put a screw in, and just do that. Nothing wrong with that, worked perfectly. But I've got lots of bits of steel work and bits of wood around, bits of plaster. I'll use one of them. That's all I've done. I've just cut a notch in that. I don't know if you can see. That's for the pen to sit in. So we need to measure from where that sits in the groove, not the end, where it sits in the groove. We need to measure 20.5. Here we go again, 20.5. It's 40.5. Just take a screw. I'll do it from this side so I can see where it's going. And take it out again. I can put it on the other side. I've got my centre point there, and we got the screw. Put the screw on the centre point. Don't tighten it, because it's only a pivot point, so we can do that. Take your pen, put it in the little slot. It's a little rough, this OSB. Fine for what we need, but I wouldn't make furniture out of it. There we go. Right, I don't know how well you can see that. I'll bring you in a sec. But basically, that is going to be our arch. We'll cut this out. We'll cut along that line and that line. That'll give us that arch. Then we just copy that on the other side and do an exact copy. Right, let's get some cutting. Get the jigsaw out. We'll cut this out first, and then we'll cut out the overall shape. So I don't know if that makes it a bit clearer. You can see our arch is here. This is going to be what actually forms the arch. So cutting that away and throwing it away. And then we'll cut it along these lines. And that'll be what fixes to the wall. Right, let's get this cut out. Right, I think I went off the line a little bit, but as long as you're within sort of 1/4 inch or so, you'd be alright. Keep hold of that, because there's use. I'll come to that later on. So don't throw it away. There we have it. Just see if the outer bits fit. That's the main thing I'm worried about at the moment. That's what we want. It's nice and high, so you're not going to feel like you're ducking going under it or anything. Right, we'll make another one of them for the other side, and we're winning. Right, we just laid the one we cut on top of the board, and we're just going to trace around it. just in case your circles aren't straight, when you trace this one, mark this as the inside, and then you know that this face faces the wall, and that way they'll be that way, not that way, if you understand what I mean. Because if it's slightly out on one side and you swap them round, your arch will go like that, it'll tilt. So just mark it up, and I'll do the same on this side, although that's got markings on. Inside. So we know that both of those faces go towards the wall. Right, put that out the way nice and safe. Now we basically just need to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, now both sides are in place. What we need to do is put something you can attach the plasterboard to. So, what I've done, I've cut some blocks. These are actually hardwood, but it doesn't really matter, anything would do. And all we're going to do is we put these in the gap in between. About like that. And then we just screw them from both ends, and we just continue all the way across. I've just done 5 just to make sure I've got the right size and things like that. But we'll get them in, and then I'll go and cut more. Right. Well, they all fit great. So I'll go and cut a load more. Let's see, that's 5, 10, 15, 17, something like that. Right, I'll see you later. They're a bit too thick to go in there. Let's see. Got my old battle chisel. It's a bit battered, but it'll do the job. Right, hammer. It's a bit time consuming, but that gives a good solid surface to put the plasterboard onto. Right, next. Right, let's get this board into place. That's got enough in to hold it all in place. Now what we want to do is actually cut the arch out. Oh, that's the basic outline done. It's getting a bit late now, so I won't do any more. We've got to put a piece of plasterboard on the other side, and then we can put the plasterboard on here. But I'll put a few more screws in to secure this, and then I'll do that tomorrow. I'm reasonably pleased with that. That'll look good when it's finished. It's a shame a full sheet wouldn't have gone right to the corner, but it's okay. We'll put some fiberglass tape on it. It won't crack. It'll be okay. I'm going to go and get some tea, and then after tea I'll come in, finish off the screws, and then tomorrow we'll crack on and we'll get this finished. Definitely getting this finished this week. See you later. Right, next day. Last night I put some more screws in and I put the other side on as well. That's basically just a square with the arch cut out. Nothing interesting about that. Now, what we need now is to make up the bit that goes here, that covers all these bits of wood. To find out how long we need to make that, you can measure it with a rule, but the trouble with a rule is it tends to do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't follow the curve properly. Now, what you can do is take, the semicircles that you cut out to make the thing, and just measure around the outside of that. Easy, simple, no problem. I have to excuse the noise. There's all sorts of strimmer going out just outside on the road. The council come round they come round at least once a year, and they trim all the edges to keep the fire hazard down. This is the week they're doing this particular stretch, so sometimes they do it twice depending on what the weather's like and how much it grows in between. So I have to bear with the noise, I'm afraid. I can't do anything about that. Okay, so this piece is about 2 meters long, so that's plenty long enough. And what we need is the actual width is about 103, but what we'll do is we'll do it to 104. Oh God, he stopped. No, he doesn't. But what we'll do it to 104, and then we've got something we can trim off once it's up. It's easier than trying to line it up exactly. Anyway, so I've marked this up. Now what I want is at least, 150 millimeters that's straight, there's no bend on it. So we do, on me, that span is about 150 mil. There we go. So we start there. To make this bend, what we're going to do is put a series of cuts all the way along it. And the idea is that you just put a cut through the paper and it'll crack the plasterboard like you're cutting a length. But you don't cut through the paper on the other side. And that paper holds it all together while you get it into position. And then you attach it to the arch and then you plaster over it. So, we need to do a series of cuts. I would do them about every 2 inches, so 50 millimeters. If you try to just lift that in place, you'd have a lot of struggle. So what we're going to do is just make a support for it out of one of these. The trouble is, if you try to put this in the gap with this on top of it, it wouldn't fit because it'd be too big. So what we need to do is cut off about, it's 1/2 inch plasterboard, so say 3/4 of an inch. If you cut 3/4 of an inch off all the way around, then that plus that should fit into the hole with a little bit of room to spare, and that gives you some working room. All I did there, just cut out a couple of notches and pop a little bit of offcuts in. It's only lasted the last 5 minutes. It's not, it doesn't have to be strong. I mean, these will break very, very easily because they've got a screw and they're only thin, they'll snap like that. But it just allows us, if you imagine this upside down, it just allows this to support the plasterboard a little bit better. Yeah, that should do what I want it to do. I'll get this back on the bench without breaking it. Hopefully it'll stay in place. If it ends up getting wrecked and we have to do another one, that's fine. I'd rather not, but, you know, it's one of them things. Right. Oh, right. Whenever you're doing plasterboard, if you get any loose paper, rip it off. Otherwise, your surface won't stick properly. It'll be fine after that. There you go. In the UK, and certainly in America, I know they do them, you get what's called flexible beads or angle beads. Now, this is an angle bead. It's a steel profile, usually got all different holes in it, but it has a raised corner that you run your trowel along, and that gives you a level for your plaster or your filler, but it also protects the corner of the wall. Now, obviously the problem is this won't bend on its own, but I was shown a trick years ago and it works brilliant. I've used it a few times. All you do is you take one of these, and where you've got that raised bit, you cut on one side from the edge or just before the raised bit. So there's a little line, just go up to it but don't cross it. And you do that all the way along. Now, if you're doing like a double door and it's only got a shallow curve, you could probably put the cuts every couple of inches. We're doing quite a tight turn, so we're going to do the cuts every 15 millimeters, which is what these holes are. Excuse me. So all you do, now I'm going to start here because I want a straight bit, then I want it to bend, and then I want it to go straight again. So we've marked it out with a centre line and a far end and a starting point here. And all you do, you see that, yeah? So all you do, take the snips and just cut up to that line and do it on every hole. Like I say, if you don't need it as tight as 10, you can have a wider gap between. You can do it every other hole or something. But I want it quite tight, so. And just keep doing that. I'll put you on time lapse because this is quite boring. Now that's all done, as you can see, it's a lot more flexible. We won't bend it too much, we'll form it on the thing. But the other thing you need to do is, as it's making a cut, it's twisted each of these. So all you got to do is go along and just bend them back so they're straight. You'll be able to do with your fingers. It's not difficult. It's only light steel. Let's go and see if it works. You can feel how smooth that is. Alright, we'll put some more screws in, secure it all. When it's ready to cover. Right. That's it now. Until ready to start doing the taping and filling, that'll be left like that. I'll do another one for the other side. I'll secure that bit. I've got a bit of plasterboard up behind now, so I don't want to secure it yet. And that's it. And when we put this other piece of plasterboard on, we'll continue another straight piece right the way down. Don't always use angle beads, but the likes of a doorway, it'll just stop you rubbing and breaking off a corner. Right. Oh, I think that's enough for today. Probably due to a complete lack of maintenance over the winter. There's a few issues with this at the moment. The drive, these wheels should drive when it's running, and that's jammed. I think it's just the cable's seized up. But there's a few other little bits and pieces, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this section off and have a go at servicing it, clean it all up, and then just give it a general all over clean and fettle. Anyway, let's get some spanners. Right, let's fire it up and see if it works. Excellent. Oh, that'll do. Everything works on it now. So the drive, when you pull the handle, it pulls forward, which when that wasn't working, it was an absolute nightmare because that lawn at the back is, it's not like a bowling green. It's like that. Right, I'll put my tools away and then we'll have a go cutting a bit of grass this afternoon. Battery's gone flat. Oh. Right, we're back. Oh, that one's dead. I'll go close the door so I can't hear that. Hear them workmen so much. Been at it all day. Don't know how they do it.